My chosen one, pause for a moment, because what you are about to hear is not ordinary. This message was not meant for everyone. It found you for a reason. There is something about June 25th that heaven has been preparing in silence. And now, the moment has come for it to be revealed. Archangel Michael stands at the edge of this announcement, carrying a message so powerful, so deeply personal, that it will shift the way you see your life forever. You may not realize it yet, but something extraordinary has already begun behind the scenes. While you were going about your days, carrying burdens you never spoke about, choosing kindness when it would have been easier to walk away, giving even when you had little left, heaven was watching. Not casually, not passively. Every quiet sacrifice, every unseen act of love, every moment you chose light over darkness has been recorded with divine precision. And now, something shocking is being revealed. Those moments you thought were insignificant have moved the very heart of God. Yes, the tears you wiped away in silence, the prayers you whispered when no one was listening, the times you stood strong while feeling completely alone. Those were not wasted moments. They were seeds. Seeds planted in faith, watered by endurance, and protected by divine hands. And what you didn't see, what you couldn't see, is that those seeds have been growing. Archangel Michael is speaking now with urgency. The weight of your goodness has reached heaven's threshold. There comes a moment when the scale tips, when the accumulation of your faithfulness can no longer remain hidden, when God Himself declares, "It is time." June 25th is not just another day. It is a divine marker, a line drawn between what has been and what is about to unfold. Something is shifting, something is opening, and something that had been held back is now being released. You might be wondering, why now? After all the waiting, after all the uncertainty, after all the times you questioned whether your efforts even mattered, why this moment? Because heaven works in perfect timing, not human timing. And there is a sacred alignment happening that you cannot yet fully see. The delays were not denial. The silence was not absence. It was preparation. Every step, every pause, every hardship was positioning you for what is about to arrive. And here is the part that may surprise you the most. The favor that is coming will not trickle into your life slowly. It will come like a landslide. Sudden, overwhelming, undeniable. What once felt stuck will begin to move. What once felt closed will begin to open. What once felt lost will begin to return in ways you never expected. Archangel Michael wants you to understand this clearly. You did not earn this through perfection. You activated this through persistence, through choosing to remain kind in a world that often rewards the opposite, through holding on to faith when it would have been easier to let go. This is why this message is so urgent. Because when this shift begins to manifest in your physical world, it may feel almost unbelievable. Opportunities, breakthroughs, restoration, they will come in forms that catch you off guard. And in those moments, you must remember this message. You must remember that this is not coincidence. This is confirmation. So prepare your heart. Open your spirit. Because June 25th carries a divine announcement that cannot be reversed. The heavens have spoken, and what has been set in motion is already finding its way to you. Tell me, are you ready to receive what has been waiting for you all along? Listen closely, because what is being revealed now will change how you understand every moment you thought went unnoticed. There is a sacred truth that many never fully grasp, and yet it has everything to do with why your life is about to shift so dramatically. Nothing you have done in love, in patience, or in sacrifice has ever been invisible. There is a divine record, a hidden ledger in heaven, where every act of kindness, every restrained word, every silent endurance has been written with eternal ink. You may remember the times when you gave without receiving, when you showed up for others while no one showed up for you, when you carried emotional weight so heavy that it felt like no one could possibly understand. In those moments, it may have seemed like your efforts dissolved into nothingness, but what you could not see is that those very moments were being preserved, honored, and multiplied in a realm beyond your sight. Archangel Michael is revealing this now so you can finally understand. Heaven does not measure as the world measures. The world celebrates live victories, visible success, and recognition from others. But heaven watches the unseen. It values the quiet decision to forgive when anger would have been easier. It treasures the moment you chose honesty over gain, humility over pride, love over bitterness. There is a reason why you have felt different, why your journey has felt heavier at times. It is because you were living in alignment with a higher standard, even when it cost you comfort. Every time you chose integrity over convenience, you were making a deposit into this divine ledger. Every tear you held back, every prayer you whispered in exhaustion, every time you kept going when everything in you wanted to stop, you were building something far greater than you realized. And now, that ledger is not just sitting idle. It is active. It is being opened. There comes a moment when heaven reviews what has been sown, and when the weight of righteousness, patience, and love reaches a certain point, a response is triggered. Not a small response, not a delayed reaction. A divine response that shifts circumstances, opens doors, and releases favor in ways that no human effort alone could ever achieve. You might have questioned yourself many times, wondering if being kind was worth it, wondering if your sacrifices were seen, wondering if taking the harder path truly made a difference. Those questions were part of your journey, but they were never the final truth. The truth is this: you were never overlooked. You were being recorded. Archangel Michael wants you to understand that this moment you are approaching is not random. It is the result of accumulation. It is the overflow of everything you have sown in faith, even when you felt empty. And just as nothing was missed in your giving, nothing will be held back in your receiving. Think about that for a moment. Every delay you experienced was not a denial of reward, but a build-up. Every time life seemed unfair, heaven was balancing something greater in your favor. There has been a divine calibration taking place, adjusting the scale until the moment it would tip completely in your direction. And now, you are standing at the edge of that tipping point. June 25th is not simply about a blessing arriving. It is about the release of what has already been accounted for. It is about the unveiling of what has been prepared through your consistency, your faith, and your unseen sacrifices. This is why it will feel sudden, why it will feel overwhelming, why it will feel almost too good to be true, because it is not being created in that moment. It is being released in that moment. So do not doubt what is coming. Do not question whether you deserve it. The ledger has already answered that. The record has already been written. And as Archangel Michael stands as both witness and protector of this divine process, you are being called to trust what is about to unfold. Because what is coming next is not just acknowledgement, it is activation. There is a moment in the spiritual realm that few ever recognize while it is happening, yet it changes everything when it arrives. It is the moment when heaven no longer observes in silence but responds. And right now, you are being drawn into that very moment. This is not a distant promise. This is a present reality unfolding around you, even if your physical eyes have not yet caught up with it. You have lived through seasons where it felt like your prayers were echoing into emptiness. Nights where you spoke to God with a trembling voice, unsure if anyone was truly listening. Days where you kept doing the right thing, even as everything around you seemed to reward the opposite. But what you could not see was that heaven was not silent, it was attentive. Every word, every thought, every act of surrender was rising like a fragrance before God. And then something shifted. Archangel Michael reveals that there comes a sacred point when your faith, your endurance, and your quiet obedience reach a level that cannot be ignored. It is not about perfection. It is about persistence. It is about the consistency of your spirit choosing light again and again, even when darkness tried to convince you otherwise. That consistency has a voice in heaven, and that voice has now been heard. When heaven takes notice, things begin to move differently. Doors that once resisted you begin to loosen. Situations that felt frozen begin to shift. You may start to sense it in subtle ways at first, a change in atmosphere, an unexplainable peace, a feeling that something is about to happen. These are not coincidences. These are signals. Here is a divine response being activated on your behalf. You may not yet see the full manifestation, but signs are already forming around you. Unexpected conversations, small opportunities, moments of clarity that seem to come out of nowhere. These are the early ripples of a much greater wave. Heaven does not always announce its movements loudly. Sometimes it begins with whispers before it arrives with power. And here is what makes this moment so profound. This response is personal. It is not a general blessing cast into the world hoping it finds someone. It has your name on it. It hath been shaped by your journey, by your sacrifices, by your faithfulness in moments no one else witnessed. Archangel Michael stands as a witness to this transition. He has seen the battles you fought internally, the strength you showed when you felt weakest, the courage it took for you to keep believing. And now, he is announcing that heaven is no longer in observation mode. It has moved into action. You might feel unprepared for what is coming. You might question whether you are truly ready to receive such a shift. But readiness was not built in a single moment. It was formed through everything you have already endured. Every challenge refined you. Every delay strengthened you. Every disappointment deepened your capacity to receive something greater. So when the changes begin to appear, do not shrink back. Do not doubt. Do not try to explain it away. Recognize it for what it is, a divine response to a life that refused to give up on goodness, even when it was difficult. This is the moment when the unseen becomes seen, when the spiritual begins to touch the physical, when what was written in heaven starts to unfold on earth, and you are right at the center of it. If this message is speaking directly to your spirit, if you can feel something stirring within you that cannot be explained, then this is your confirmation. Type "I receive divine notice" in the comments if you accept this moment. Blessing code 909 has just been activated over your life. And as this sacred shift continues to unfold, understand this: what is being released is not just for you alone. It is meant to flow through you, to touch others, to become a testimony of what God can do when someone remains faithful in the unseen. There are those who are still waiting in silence, just as you once were, and your support becomes part of their breakthrough. When you choose to sow into this mission, you are not simply giving. You are becoming a vessel through which God's message reaches hearts that are on the edge of giving up. As it is written, "Give, and it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." This is not just a verse. It is a living promise being activated right now. I feel led to say this clearly. As I release this message, I am also stepping forward in faith, saying, I choose to be part of this divine work. If your spirit is aligning with this, then do not hesitate. The opportunity to give is already placed before you through Super Thanks and PayPal. with links and QR codes available for you. This is your moment to act, not out of obligation, but out of divine alignment. As you sow, may your life receive a harvest that mirrors the very message you are supporting. May doors open, may favor increase, and may your name be spoken in rooms you have never entered. Step into this flow. Act now. Here is something that must be acknowledged before you step fully into what is coming next. It is something you have carried for a long time, something that shaped you in ways no one else could fully understand. The battles you fought were not always visible. In fact, most of them were completely hidden. And yet, they were some of the heaviest battles of all. You learned how to smile when your heart felt heavy. You learned how to keep going when everything inside you wanted to stop. There were moments when you felt like you were holding your entire world together with nothing but faith and sheer will. No applause, no recognition, just quiet endurance. And while others may have overlooked what you were carrying, heaven never did. Archangel Michael speaks into this very space, reminding you that those silent battles were not signs of weakness. They were evidence of strength that few are ever called to develop. There is a certain kind of resilience that is only forged in isolation, in moments where you have no choice but to rely on God because there is no one else who can truly understand what you are facing. Think about the nights when sleep would not come easily because your mind was filled with questions, worries, and unanswered prayers. Think about the days when you showed up anyway, even when your spirit felt drained. You did not quit. You did not give up. You kept choosing to move forward, even if it was one small step at a time. That matters more than you realize. Every silent battle carried a weight, but it also carried a purpose. It was shaping your character, deepening your faith, and expanding your capacity to handle what is now being prepared for you. Because the truth is, the level of favor that is about to enter your life requires a version of you that has been tested, refined, and strengthened. If everything had come easily, you would not have been ready to sustain it. If every door had opened immediately, you would not have developed the discernment to walk through the right ones. Your battles were not barriers, they were training grounds. Archangel Michael has been present in those unseen moments, even when you felt alone. There were times when you thought you had reached your limit, when you felt like you could not carry the weight any longer. And yet, somehow, you found the strength to continue. That strength did not come from nowhere. It was supported, guarded, and sustained by divine presence. There were battles you never even realized you were protected from. Situations that could have gone differently, but did not. Paths that could have led to greater pain but were quietly redirected. This is part of what Archangel Michael has been doing, fighting on your behalf in ways you could not see, ensuring that even in your lowest moments, you were not destroyed. And now, as you stand on the edge of this new season, it is important for you to recognize something clearly. You are not the same person who started this journey. You have grown. You have evolved. You have become stronger, wiser, and more spiritually aware. The weight you once carried has now become the foundation beneath you. What once felt like pressure is now becoming power. What once felt like delay is now revealing itself as preparation. And what once felt like isolation is now showing itself as divine protection. This is why what is coming next will not break you. It will elevate you. You may still feel traces of those past struggles. You may still carry memories of the moments that tested you deeply. But those memories are not there to weaken you. They are there to remind you of what you overcame, to show you that you are capable of standing in something greater without losing yourself. Archangel Michael is urging you to release the weight of those battles now. Not by forgetting them, but by understanding them. by seeing them for what they truly were, stepping stones that brought you to this exact moment. Because where you are going, you cannot carry the same heaviness. The season ahead requires lightness, openness, and readiness to receive. The battles have already served their purpose. The lessons have already been learned. And now, it is time for the reward to match the endurance. So take a deep breath and allow this truth to settle within you. You were never fighting alone, and you were never fighting without purpose. Every silent battle has brought you closer to a breakthrough that is no longer distant. It is approaching you now. And as you move forward, you will begin to see that what once felt like your greatest struggle has become your greatest strength. There is a powerful truth that must now be revealed to you, something that has been operating quietly behind the scenes of your life. While you were navigating your struggles, making difficult choices, and holding on to faith through uncertainty, you were not alone for a single moment. There has been a divine protector assigned to your journey, one who has stood guard, fought battles, and intervened in ways you could not see. The protector is Archangel Michael. This is not symbolic. This is not distant or abstract. This is real, active, and deeply personal. Archangel Michael has not only been watching your journey, he has been participating in it. Every time you felt an unexplainable sense of protection, every moment when something could have gone wrong but didn't, every instance where danger passed you by without touching you, those were not coincidences. Those were interventions. You may not have recognized it at the time, but there were spiritual battles taking place around you. Forces you could not see, situations you did not fully understand, and outcomes that could have unfolded very differently. Yet somehow you were preserved. Somehow you made it through. Somehow, the worst did not happen. Somehow has a name. Archangel Michael has been standing in the gap for you, ensuring that what was meant to harm you could not reach you. There were attacks that never touched you because they were stopped before they arrived. There were plans formed against you that never succeeded because they were dismantled in the spiritual realm before they could manifest in the physical. And while this protection was happening, something else was also taking place. Archangel Michael was not only defending you, he was preparing the path ahead of you. You see, breakthrough is not just about receiving blessings. It is about clearing the way for those blessings to arrive without obstruction. There are moments when doors are closed not because you are unworthy, but because the path is not yet secure. There are times when delays occur because something is being handled on your behalf, something that requires divine intervention before you can safely move forward. This is where Archangel Michael's role becomes even more significant. He has been aligning circumstances, removing obstacles, and positioning you in ways that you may only now begin to understand. The connections that didn't work out, the opportunities that slipped away, the sudden changes that disrupted your plans, many of those moments were not losses. They were redirections. You were being guided away from what could have limited you and toward what is now ready to elevate you. And now, as June 25th approaches, there is a shift in his assignment concerning your life. The season of heavy defense is transitioning into a season of powerful release. The battles that once required constant protection are being replaced with openings that allow blessings to flow freely. Archangel Michael is now standing not just as a protector, but as an announcer. He is declaring that the path ahead hath been cleared, that what once resisted you no longer has the authority to do so, that the favor being released into your life will not be blocked, delayed, or diminished in the way it may have been before. This is why things will begin to move differently. You will notice that what once required struggle will now begin to unfold with ease. What once felt complicated will become simple. What once felt uncertain will become clear. This does not mean there will never be challenges again, but it does mean that the level of resistance you once faced had been significantly reduced. The weight of constant opposition is being lifted. And here is something even deeper that Archangel Michael wants you to understand. Your breakthrough is not accidental. It is authorized. There has been a divine decision made concerning your life. A decision that your season of holding back has come to an end. A decision that what you have endured is now being matched with what you are about to receive. So as this new phase begins, do not look at your life through the lens of your past struggles. Do not expect the same level of difficulty, the same patterns, or the same outcomes. You are stepping into a different reality, one that has been guarded, prepared, and now opened for you. Archangel Michael is still with you, but his role is shifting from constant defense to powerful SOPROVMENT, walking with you as you step into what has already been secured. And as you move forward, you will begin to realize something that may take your breath away. The breakthrough you prayed for was being protected long before it ever reached you. Now, it is finally time for you to experience it. Something is happening right now, not tomorrow, not someday in the distant future, but in this very moment as you are hearing these words. There is a shift taking place in the spiritual realm that is directly connected to your life, your journey, and everything you have been waiting for. It may not yet be visible to your physical eyes, but its effects are already beginning to ripple into your reality. This is the kind of shift that cannot be reversed once it begins. It is not temporary. It is not fragile. It is a divine realignment, one that moves circumstances, adjusts timing, and repositions people and opportunities in ways that no human effort could accomplish on its own. You may have already started to feel it without fully understanding what it is. A subtle change in your energy. A quiet sense that something is different. Perhaps you've noticed that your reactions are shifting, that things that once drained you no longer have the same power over you. Or maybe there is a growing anticipation within you, a feeling that something is about to break open. That feeling is not your imagination. It is confirmation. Archangel Michael is revealing that the spiritual atmosphere around you has been undergoing a transformation. What was once heavy is becoming lighter. What was once blocked is beginning to open. There has been a rearrangement taking place, one that is aligning you with the very things that have been waiting for the right moment to enter your life. This is why certain things may feel out of place right now. You may notice that some connections are fading, certain habits are losing their hold, or environments that once felt familiar no longer resonate with you. This is not loss. This is alignment. The shift requires space. In order for new blessings to enter, old energies must be released. In order for new doors to open, certain paths must close. And while this process can feel uncomfortable at times, it is necessary for what is coming next. You are not being stripped of anything valuable. You are being freed from what no longer matches your next level. There is also a deeper level to this shift that you must understand. It is not just external. It is internal. Your mindset is being renewed. Your perspective is being elevated. You are beginning to see things differently, to understand things more clearly, to trust in ways that you may not have been able to before. This internal transformation is what prepares you to handle the external blessings that are approaching. Because without this shift within you, the things coming toward you could feel overwhelming or even confusing. But now, you are being brought into a state of readiness. A state where you can recognize opportunities, receive blessings without fear, and move forward with confidence. Archangel Michael is closely involved in this process, ensuring that the shift remains stable and aligned with God's plan for your life. He is guiding the transition, making sure that what is leaving does not return, and that what is arriving is exactly what you need. You may also begin to notice an increase in clarity. Decisions that once felt complicated may now feel simple. Directions that once seemed unclear may now appear obvious. This is another sign that the shift is taking effect. Confusion is being replaced with understanding. And as this continues, you will start to see evidence in your physical world. Small changes at first, things falling into place, unexpected opportunities, moments where everything just seems to work out. These are not random events. They are manifestations of what has already shifted in the spiritual realm. This is why it is so important for you to stay aware, to stay open, and to stay grounded in faith. The shift is already in motion, and your role is not to force it, but to flow with it. To trust that what is happening is leading you exactly where you are meant to be. Because the truth is, you are no longer in the same position you once were. Even if your surroundings look similar, everything beneath the surface has changed. You are aligned now. You are positioned now. And as this spiritual shift continues to unfold, it is carrying you closer and closer to the moment when what has been prepared will finally become visible, tangible, and undeniable in your life. Pay attention closely now, because what is happening around you is not random, and it is not ordinary. There are signs, clear, undeniable signs, that begin to appear when favor is no longer approaching from a distance, but is standing at your door, ready to enter. These signs are subtle at first, almost easy to dismiss if you are not aware. But once you recognize them, everything begins to make sense. You may have already started noticing that something feels different within you. Not dramatically, not all at once, but in quiet, steady ways. There is a calmness that was not there before. Situations that once triggered stress or frustration now seem to have less control over your emotions. You are responding differently, thinking differently, even see yourself differently. This is one of the first signs your inner world is stabilizing before your outer world transforms. Archangel Michael reveals that favor does not arrive into chaos, it arrives into alignment. And that alignment begins within you. Another sign you may be experiencing is unexpected peace in uncertain situations. Things in your life may not yet be fully resolved, and yet there is a sense of trust growing inside you. It is as if, without any physical proof, you already know that things are going to work out. That peace is not something you created on your own. It is being placed within you as confirmation that what is coming is already secured. You may also begin to notice shifts in how people respond to you. Conversations may start to flow more easily. Doors that once felt closed may begin to open, even in small ways. People may offer help, opportunities, or kindness without you asking. This is another sign. Favor often begins through people being positioned in your life at the right time. But not every sign will feel comfortable. In fact, some of the strongest indicators that favor is near can feel like disruption. You may find that certain relationships are changing or even falling away. Situations that once felt stable may begin to shift unexpectedly. Plans you were relying on may no longer seem to fit. This can feel confusing at first, even unsettling. But this is not a setback. This is divine repositioning. Archangel Michael is clearing space. What cannot go with you into your next level will not be allowed to remain. And while it may feel like loss in the moment, it is actually protection. It is ensuring that when your favor arrives in full, there is nothing in your environment that will block it, distort it, or diminish it. You may also notice an increase in awareness. Things that you once ignored or overlooked may now stand out clearly. You may find yourself making decisions more quickly, trusting your instincts more confidently, and recognizing what is right for you without needing external validation. This clarity is another sign that you are being aligned with what is coming. And then there is a sign that is often overlooked, but deeply powerful. You are still here. After everything you have been through, after every challenge that could have taken you out, every moment that could have broken you, you are still standing. That in itself is a sign that favor hath been surrounding you even before it fully manifests. You were preserved for this moment. Archangel Michael emphasizes this truth. Survival was not accidental. It was intentional. You were kept because there is something ahead that requires your presence. Something that cannot unfold without you being there to receive it. And that is why, despite everything, you made it to this point. Another sign you may notice is a growing sense of expectation. Not anxiety, not pressure, but a quiet knowing that something is about to happen. It is difficult to explain, but it feels real. It feels close. That feeling is not coming from nowhere. It is the echo of what is already forming in the spiritual realm, beginning to touch your awareness. And as these signs continue to increase, you will begin to see that they are all pointing in the same direction, toward release, toward manifestation, toward favor that has been building for longer than you realize. So do not ignore what you are feeling. Do not dismiss the changes you are noticing. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations that you are standing at the threshold of something significant. Archangel Michael is urging you to remain open, to remain aware, and to remain ready. Because the signs are no longer subtle. They are becoming undeniable. And very soon, what you have been sensing internally will begin to appear externally in ways that leave no room for doubt. You are closer than you think. Now listen carefully, because this is where everything begins to change in ways you cannot control, cannot predict, and cannot stop. What was once building quietly in the unseen is no longer contained. The shift has already happened, the alignment has already taken place, and now the release begins. This is not a gentle increase. This is not a slow improvement that you have to question or analyze. Archangel Michael is revealing that what is coming into your life will arrive with force, with speed, and with undeniable clarity. It will feel like a landslide of favor, sudden, powerful, and impossible to ignore. You may wake up one day and realize that something has shifted overnight. An opportunity appears that you were not expecting. A door opens that you had already given up on. A situation that felt stuck for so long suddenly begins to move with ease. These moments will not ask for your permission. They will simply arrive. And when they do, you must not hesitate. Because this kind of favor does not come after perfect planning. It comes as a result of divine timing. It will stretch you, surprise you, and sometimes even challenge your ability to believe that it is real. But this is why you were prepared. This is why you went through everything you endured, so that when this moment came, you would not collapse under its weight, but rise within it. Archangel Michael stands at the center of this release, ensuring that what has been authorized in heaven reaches you without interference. The resistance that once slowed things down is no longer in control. The delays that once frustrated you have been lifted. What is yours is now being delivered. And here is something you must understand deeply. This favor is not limited. It will not show up in just one area of your life. It will begin to touch multiple areas at once. You may experience progress in your personal life while also seeing changes in your finances, your relationships, your opportunities, and your inner peace. It will feel like everything is aligning at the same time, and that is exactly what is happening. Because when God releases favor, He does not do it halfway. There will be moments when you may feel overwhelmed, not in a negative way, but in a way that stretches your understanding. You may find yourself asking, why is this happening so fast? Or am I really ready for this? And the answer is yes. You are ready because you were prepared in the hidden seasons. This is not luck. This is not coincidence. This is the manifestation of everything that has already been written, recorded, and approved for your life. You will also begin to notice something else. What once required effort will now begin to flow. Conversations will feel natural. Decisions will feel clear. Paths will open without struggle. It will feel as if something is guiding you step by step, ensuring that you are exactly where you need to be at the right time. That guidance is real. Archangel Michael is still present, but now he is not only protecting you, he is directing you, leading you into spaces that are aligned with your purpose, connecting you with people who are part of your next level, positioning you in places where your presence will matter. And as this landslide of favor continues, you must remember one thing above all else: receive it. Do not question it. Do not downplay it. Do not feel unworthy of it. This is not the time to shrink back. This is the time to step forward, to accept what is being given, and to move with confidence into what is unfolding. Because this moment has been a long time coming. And now, it is here. If you feel this truth deep within your spirit, if you sense that what is being spoken is already beginning to reflect in your life, then this is your moment to declare it. Type "I receive the flow of favor" in the comments if you are ready. Blessing code 1212 is now activated and flowing over your life. And as this landslide continues to move through your life, understand this: what is pouring into you is not meant to stop with you. It is meant to flow through you, reaching others who are still waiting for their moment of breakthrough. This is how divine favor multiplies. This is how light spreads. I feel led to speak directly to your spirit right now. As I receive this overflow, I choose to become a channel of blessing for others. Let that be your declaration. When you support this mission, you are not just giving. You are planting seeds into lives that are hungry for hope, for truth, for confirmation that God has not forgotten them. The message you are hearing today is reaching you because someone else chose to give. Now, you have the opportunity to do the same. The pathways are already open for you, through Super Thanks and PayPal, with links and QR codes placed for you to act in this very moment. This is not a random invitation. This is a divine opportunity to align your action with what God is doing through you. As you give, may the flow of favor in your life increase beyond measure. May what you release return to you multiplied, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Step into this moment. Act now. There is a question that has likely crossed your mind more times than you can count. A question that echoed in the quiet moments, when things felt delayed, when doors remained closed, and when answers seemed just out of reach. You asked, why is this taking so long? And even when you tried to stay strong, there were moments when the waiting felt heavier than the struggle itself. But now, you are being brought into an understanding that will change how you see everything you went through. The waiting was not empty. It was not wasted. It was necessary. Archangel Michael is revealing that your season of waiting was one of the most important phases of your journey. Not because it was easy, but because it was transformative. It was a time where things were being developed within you that could not have been formed any other way. If everything had come quickly, you would have received it as it was. But because it was delayed, you became more. You became stronger in your faith. You became deeper in your understanding. You became more aware, more discerning, more aligned with what truly matters. The waiting stretched you, and in that stretching, It created capacity to receive more, to handle more, and to sustain more. This is something many people never realize. They see the waiting as a barrier, when in truth, it is preparation. It is the space where God works on the foundation before placing the structure, because without a strong foundation, even the greatest blessings can collapse under pressure. Archangel Michael hath been overseeing this preparation with precision. There were things within you that needed to be strengthened, mindsets that needed to shift, patterns that needed to be broken, and all of this required time. There were also things outside of you that needed to be aligned. People had to be positioned. Circumstances had to be arranged. Certain doors had to close so that better ones could open. And in some cases, what you were asking for had to be protected from arriving too soon, before everything was ready. This is why some of your prayers seemed delayed, not because they were denied, but because they were being guarded. There were moments when you felt ready, but heaven knew there was still something missing. There was still something being built, something being aligned, something being prepared that you could not yet see. And now, as you look back, you may begin to notice something. You are not the same person you were when you first started asking for what you desired. You think differently. You respond differently. You understand things on a deeper level. That change did not happen overnight. It happened in the waiting. Archangel Michael wants you to see that your waiting season was not a pause. It was progress. Even when nothing seemed to be happening on the outside, everything was happening on the inside. Growth was taking place. Strength was being built. Clarity was forming. And now, all of that is about to meet opportunity. This is why the release you are stepping into will feel so significant. Because it is not just about receiving something new. It is about stepping into something you are finally ready for. If what is coming had arrived earlier, it might have overwhelmed you. It might have confused you. It might have slipped through your hands because you were not yet prepared to hold it. But now you are ready. The waiting has done its work. And here is something even more powerful. Nothing that was meant for you during that waiting season has been lost. It has been preserved. It has been held, protected, and kept in perfect condition for the moment it would be released. So what you are about to receive is not just timely, it is complete. There will be no missing pieces, no sense of lack, no feeling that something could have been better if it had come earlier. Everything will align in a way that makes you realize that the timing was not only right, it was perfect. This is the wisdom that comes after the waiting. The understanding that what felt like delay was actually divine design. So release any frustration you may still be holding. Let go of the question, why did it take so long? And replace it with, now I understand why it had to. Because what is coming next will answer every doubt, every question, every moment of uncertainty you faced along the way. And when it arrives, you will not wish it had come sooner. You will simply be grateful that it came at the exact right time. Now that you understand what has been prepared, what has been protected, and why the waiting was necessary, there is something important you must do in this moment. Because even though the favor has been released, even though the path has been cleared, there is still a role you must play. Not in forcing what is coming, not in striving to make it happen, but in aligning yourself to receive it fully. This is where many people miss their moment. Not because the blessing was not meant for them, but because they were not positioned to recognize it, accept it, or sustain it when it arrived. But that will not be your story. Archangel Michael is guiding you now into a state of alignment, a place where your mind, your spirit, and your actions begin to match what is being released into your life. because alignment is what allows favor to flow without resistance. The first shift begins within your mindset. You must begin to see yourself as someone who is ready to receive. Not someday, not eventually, but now. The version of you that doubted, that questioned your worth, that felt like you had to struggle for everything, that version is no longer where you are. You have grown beyond that. And now, you must allow your thoughts to reflect that growth. If you continue to expect difficulty, you may overlook ease when it arrives. If you continue to expect rejection, you may hesitate when acceptance is offered. This is why your thinking must shift. You are no longer preparing for struggle. You are stepping into favor. Archangel Michael is urging you to release any belief that tells you this is too good to be true. Because what is coming may feel unfamiliar, especially if you have been used to things being hard. What unfamiliar does not mean wrong. It means new. The second shift is in your openness. You must be willing to receive in ways that may not match your expectations. Sometimes, we become so focused on how we think things should happen that we miss how they are actually happening. The opportunity may not look exactly like what you imagined. The door may open in a place you did not expect. The answer may arrive through a path you had not considered. But that does not make it any less real. Archangel Michael is aligning your path with divine precision, and part of your role is to remain flexible, aware, and open to what is unfolding. When something feels right, when it aligns with peace rather than pressure, trust that. That is how you will recognize what is meant for you. The third shift is in your willingness to move. Favor is not something that keeps you still. It invites you forward. There will be moments when you are given an opportunity, a choice, a step to take. And in those moments, hesitation can cause delay. You do not need to have every detail figured out before you move. You do not need to feel completely certain before you act. Sometimes, alignment looks like trusting the step in front of you, even if you cannot yet see the entire path. Archangel Michael will guide you, but you must be willing to respond. And finally, there is a shift in your ability to receive without resistance. This may sound simple, but it is deeper than it appears. Many people are comfortable giving, striving, and working, but when it comes time to receive, they hold back. They question it. They feel undeserving. They minimize what is being offered. You must not do this. When the favor begins to flow, accept it fully. Do not trick it. Do not doubt it. Do not feel like you have to earn it again. It has already been accounted for. It has already been approved. This is your moment to receive without fear. Archangel Michael is standing with you as you step into this alignment, ensuring that you are not only protected, but also positioned correctly. You are not being left to figure this out alone. You are being guided, supported, and directed every step of the way. So as you move forward, hold on to this truth. You do not need to chase what has already been released. You only need to align with it. Because the favor is not coming from a distance anymore. It is already here. And as you align yourself fully, your thoughts, your openness, your actions, you will begin to see just how effortlessly it can flow into your life when you are ready to receive it. There comes a moment when everything you have heard, everything you have felt, and everything that has been unfolding within you begins to take form in a way that can no longer be ignored. That moment is not distant anymore. It is here. You are no longer preparing for a new reality. You are stepping into it. This transition may not feel like a sudden leap at first. It may begin with small confirmations, quiet shifts that gradually become undeniable. But make no mistake, what is happening is profound. The life you have been moving toward is no longer ahead of you. It is unfolding around you. Archangel Michael is guiding you through this threshold, this crossing point between what was and what now is. And as you step forward, you may notice something surprising. The things that once felt out of reach no longer seem distant. The goals you once questioned now feel possible. The life you once hoped for now feels tangible. This is not imagination. This is manifestation. The internal shift you experienced has now begun to reflect externally. Opportunities are appearing, connections are forming, and circumstances are aligning in ways that confirm everything you have been sensing. It may feel like things are happening quickly, but in truth, they have been building for a long time. Now they are simply revealing themselves. You may also notice a change in how you carry yourself. There is a quiet confidence growing within you. Not arrogance, not pressure, but a steady assurance that you are where you are meant to be. You are no longer second-guessing every step. You are moving with intention, with clarity, with trust. This is what stepping into your new reality looks like. It is not about becoming someone else. It is about fully becoming who you were always meant to be, without the weight of doubt, fear, or limitation holding you back. The version of you that struggled to believe is being replaced by a version of you that knows. Archangel Michael is reminding you that this new reality is not fragile. It is not something that can easily be taken away. It has been established through divine authority, through alignment, and through everything you have already endured. This is why you must walk in it boldly. There may still be moments where your past tries to speak. Old thoughts, old fears, old patterns may attempt to remind you of who you used to be. But you must not give them power. Those versions of you serve their purpose. They helped shape you, but they do not define you anymore. You are no longer living from survival. You are living from alignment. And that changes everything. In this new reality, you will begin to see that things flow differently. You will notice that what once required force now requires trust. What once demanded struggle now responds to alignment. You are no longer pushing against resistance. You are moving with momentum. This is the difference between striving and receiving. Archangel Michael is walking with you in this transition, ensuring that as you step forward, you remain grounded, aware, and protected. You are not being rushed, but you are being guided. Every step you take is being supported by something greater than yourself. And as you continue to move forward, you will begin to see how everything is connecting. Moments that once seemed unrelated will start to make sense. Delays that once frustrated you will reveal their purpose. Even the challenges you faced will show how they contributed to where you are now. Nothing was random. Everything was leading here. This is your new reality, a space where what you once prayed for is no longer a distant hope, but a present experience. A space where favor is not something you are waiting for, but something you are walking in. So do not hesitate now. Do not hold back. Do not question whether this is real. Step into it fully, because this is the life that has been prepared for you. This is the moment that has been building toward you. And as you stand in it, you will begin to realize something that changes everything. You are not becoming ready for the blessing anymore. You are already living inside it. Now, everything begins to settle into place. After the intensity of the journey, after the stretching, the waiting, the shifting, and the sudden release, there comes a moment of calm. Not the kind of calm that feels empty, but the kind that feels full. Full of assurance, full of quiet joy, full of a deep knowing that what has been spoken over your life is no longer on its way. It has arrived. You are no longer standing at the edge of change. You have crossed into it. Take a moment to breathe this in. because this is what it feels like when divine favor finds its home in your life. It does not rush you. It does not confuse you. It settles you. It grounds you. It reminds you that everything is working exactly as it should. Archangel Michael is still near, but now his presence feels different. Not as a warning, not as a call to prepare, but as a reassurance that what has been established will remain, that what has been given will not be taken lightly, that what hath been released into your life carries divine stability. You may notice that your spirit feels lighter now. The weight you carried for so long is no longer pressing against you in the same way. The questions that once filled your mind have quieted. The urgency to figure everything out has softened into trust. This is peace, and this peace is not temporary. It is a sign that you are aligned with something real, something lasting. Because when God moves in your life, He does not leave you in confusion. He anchors you in clarity. As you look around your life now, you will begin to see the evidence. It may not all be loud or dramatic, but it is undeniable. Things are working. Doors are open. Your path is clear. And most importantly, your heart is no longer restless. You are at rest, even as life continues to move forward. Archangel Michael wants you to hold on to this state, not by forcing it, but by trusting it. You do not need to go back into worry. You do not need to return to doubt. What hath been done is done. What has been released is already yours. Let this be the moment where you stop questioning and start receiving fully. Because everything you went through has led you here, not just to receive favor, but to live in it. To wake up each day knowing that you are supported, that you are guided, that you are covered by something greater than anything that once stood against you. And as this truth settles deeply within you, there is one more thing you must understand. This peace, this favor, this transformation, it is not only for you to experience, it is also for you to reflect, to become a light for others who are still in their waiting, still in their questioning, still in their silent battles. Because just as you were reached, others are waiting to be reached too. If this message has touched your spirit, if you feel the truth of it settling into your heart, then this is your moment to seal it. Type "IT is done" in the comments if you receive this fully. Blessing code 3030 is now established over your life. And as you rest in this divine peace, hear this call clearly. This is the hour where your response becomes part of someone else's breakthrough. The same God who opened the heavens over your life is now inviting you to open the flow for others. He declares, "Bring the seed, and I will multiply the harvest beyond what your eyes can see." Let this not be just a message you heard, but a movement you step into. Say within yourself, "I choose to carry this light forward. I will not let this word stop with me." When you release through Super Thanks or give through PayPal, you are not making a simple donation. You are sowing into souls, igniting hope, and becoming a vessel of divine provision. The links are already placed before you. The QR code is waiting. This is your moment of obedience, not hesitation. As you act, may your giving return to you as overflowing favor, as doors that cannot be shut, as blessings that chase you down. Step into this sacred exchange now. Move. So, release.